I'm so grateful to have you here watching this video unfold. Today I have some colour on, so along this same theme, I figured that we could go through some paint colours together. I shall just be saying some paint colours which I have been liking recently. These paint colours will specifically be Dulux brand. This video is not sponsored. However, hi to anyone potentially watching from Dulux. Without further ado, let's just get right into it. You will notice that most of these paint colours which I mentioned today will have the running theme of being light pastel colours. This is due to these paint colours I find to really enhance the size of the room, because pastel colours are said to make a room feel larger. Starting off with shades of purple, the first colour being violet white, which is this purpley pastel colour. It does have a tinge of purple in there because that would make it identifiable that it's not just your average white. No offense to anybody who does love a white background. I mean, I'm sure I will get there with one consistent colour one day myself, with a clear, crisp background. However, I think with violet white, it's enough colour, in my opinion, for you to basically tell it from just plain white. A shade which has a more darker purple colour is gentle lavender. For either of these colours, I would opt to put a more purpley shade in the dining area. Sticking on the theme of darker shades, we shall move on to a green shade, which is Willow Tree. Not only was I drawn to this shade because of its name, but I feel as though it does remind me of nature, and it is quite likeable due to that aspect. I also think that it would make you feel calm, and that's just my reason for liking it. As for some lighter green shades, if we just dial it back to the pastel colours, I would say Soft Apple is another favourite of mine, as well as the shade Well-Being. If I had to choose one, I possibly would go for Well-Being, just due to it having that tinge more of green in the paint. Obviously on the walls, all of the paint colours may look completely different. However, just off of the eye view, I think that Well-Being is just so lovely and inviting. I mean, all of them are in their own way, but Well-Being for me has just the right amount of green, in my opinion, for it to really stand out. Soft Apple is very much a pastel green, but I would say it appears to be a little bit more muted in the amount of greenness. For me, I would be likely to place a green shade in either a dining room again or in the kitchen. If we go on to some pink shades, which have had me blushing, you could say, Jasmine Shimmer is definitely up there for me, which is the more muted pink shade out of the two. So this would be the first one that I would likely opt for if I was going for a pink shade. The second shade would likely be Blossom White. Here it is, which has a little bit more pink in it, and it's a bit more of that blush colour. These two colours I would possibly have in a living room. I was about to say dining room, I'm trying to broaden my horizon. These two colours I would probably have in either a living room or finish up with some beigey off-white shades, which I would possibly go for. One of them being Natural Calico, which is the lighter shade out of the two, and the last shade being Egyptian Cotton, which is a darker, sort of closer to grey colour, in my opinion. Either of these shades I would put in a living room. That does conclude today's video. A short stint rather of me trying to get my words out on different paints which I have liked recently. Please do share any paint colour which you would go for and what room you would put that colour into, so that we can continue the conversation in the comments. Thank you so much for being here as always, and I shall hopefully see you again.